COVID-19 has restricted our normal high school lives. With online schooling, social distancing, and mask wearing, the typical school activities we do year to year have become a lot harder. The Drama Guild Club has taken on the challenge of a pandemic play and 2 pandemic musicals. To learn more about all the ins and outs of trying to put on a show during a pandemic, we talked to the Drama Guild teacher sponsor, Mrs. Jennifer Happerberger, and Junior Leah Kazmarkowitz.
Last year in 2020, we were set to perform Footloose. I have no experience in theater before. I've been doing it for 6 years, but I was a parent that was a teacher, so I was the perfect choice to take over this role. And everything prior to last year was the kids audition, they rehearse, they sing, they dance, they touch, they choreograph, they kiss, they do whatever, like a normal performance, and then they perform in front of a live audience. And then March 13th came, school was closed. March 14th we had our last rehearsal, and we were shut down. The sets were built, all the costumes were ready. We were 2 weeks before opening night, and we were shut down. But we didn't give up because we thought we could never let these kids think that they could quit. So Mrs. Kukaro, the choreographer, Mrs. Gutwald, my assistant, Nurse Popovich, our school nurse, and I worked together to try to come up with a plan to make this happen. We had sanitizers, everybody was in masks, we had preferential socially distanced seating, we had a 6-foot pool noodle to keep everybody apart from each other, and we completely revised the show so that everybody could be in it and perform what we had intended to. But what we did was we enlisted the video department to come, and we had about 4 graduates come to help Mr. Vinton, and they filmed the kids. What we did first, though, was realize the kids were in masks, so they had to record the audio, and then we would take that and add that to the video later. We did the recordings first, took the track, played it so when the kids did the dancing and the performing, they could hear the music, they're singing, and they knew how to move and when to move. And we put together an hour, 50-minute show that we streamed over a weekend.
I was also in PT, the Footloose production of last year, so we got to record that, got to watch it with friends and family, have like some watch parties with close groups that we could be together.
As much as they wanted to perform on stage, they got to watch it with their family and friends, and that's a special memory too. We are lucky that our director has been directing for 30 years, and he knows a lot about theater and a lot about shows. So in the fall, he picked a show that he found on the internet, actually. It was called Most Likely To. It was a senior superlative monologue. So it was like the senior superlatives in your yearbook, them accepting their award. So it was a monologue show. So it was perfect. No one had ever heard of it before, but it was a perfect show to do in a pandemic because when we recorded, they could have their masks off so we could actually see them.
For 2021's spring musical, our director has selected the show Working for the students to perform. Keeping with a COVID-friendly environment, the cast is currently in the rehearsal process for the show.
For this year's show, I'm really excited to be able to have the recording and have something to look back on and be able to watch it with my family.
All of the technology that we learned, like I said, we could put out our own CDs and go on the road and teach other schools how to put on a virtual show because it was such a great experience in the summer. We did a great job in the fall, and I expect that to happen again with this show.
A lot of schools aren't doing musicals, or they're doing very scaled back versions of musicals, so it's really nice that our show could keep going on. The show goes on here at Penn Trafford, and we're really thankful for that.
These kids have suffered so much with just being completely shut down, stuck in their rooms, and then they had the opportunity to get together and show that with perseverance, you might not get exactly what you want, but you can get a pretty great outcome instead.
This has been Ella Coy, Ava Pradell, and Skylar Hato from PTTV.